I had people ask everyone doing who didn't sleep till about probably about 6 a.m. I'll be honest. Terrible, I know. Who didn't? I didn't. If we're allowed one night in this entire season to not sleep, it's this one, wasn't it? Oh my days! Wow. Look, there's a lot to talk about in this game. A lot to talk about. A lot, not just on the performance, but on other things, what it means, what we did. Oh, let's just get into it because yeah, I love this sport, man. I hate it 99% of the time, but that 1% is absolutely just pure gold, pure gold. Um, Obviously we're going to do the performance reviews, the ratings, bringing them back, but of course we're going to talk about the game and certain topics in the game as I'm going through them. Little two-in-one kind of thing. The goalkeeper, and honestly, let's start on it. Like, I mean, talk about a topsy-turvy up and down game from Milan. The first, and I think he'll tell you the same, the first part of that game was not good. I always say you can kind of tell straight away from his first action what type of game he's going to have. I think you know he kind of lets that first action define the next kind of 15, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Which we saw. Let's be honest. And you know what it is? The goal wasn't even the biggest problem for me. He made a great save, by the way, before the goal. It's a good save, is that? And it's actually unlucky. I've watched the highlight back. The guy heads it onto the post. You know, he's going towards the goal, and he heads it onto the post, and it comes across him, and it's really quick. And he actually watches well. His left foot takes way, so he slips. So I'm actually not watching it back. I'm not that bothered about that. But there were two or three instances around the goal that yeah, he dropped. He didn't claim. He missed the one where apparently was fouled, even though his entire right arm is free to punch. You know, just little things like that. But second half, yeah, he made a crucial decision to come out and claim that ball because he was 1-on-1. Genuinely, that's top goalkeeping. So, and then after that, he just claimed everything. So after that, you know, weird game for Milan. We kind of saw the good and the bad in the same game, which made it difficult for us as a viewer, obviously, but probably for the manager in the stands as well. But look, is what it is. He did his thing in the end. Made a crucial save in the second half. Let's get off the goalkeeper. Defenders, and this is very contrasting. And it's not. And you know what the thing is about this game? I think it was an extremely physical game. This is a game where you know the opposition are going to be extremely prepared. And I was telling people it weren't going to be easy, and some people thought it was going to be a cakewalk. And they did exactly what I expected them to do, to be honest. Ultra physical, played their way for a lot of it. You know, we played into their hands. We played how they wanted us to play. They won their battles. They got the crowd going. You know, they won their duels, their battles, free balls, second balls. They were kind of there, running through our players like they weren't there for certain times. You know, that's what they wanted to play. They're a physical team, and we're not. And I'll get more into that later because I think it's actually really important. But the contrast in centre backs is, for me anyway, it was down to the fact that, I mean, obviously the injury to Ampadu, I don't know if that affected Pascal starting, but he didn't look 100% sharp for me. His decision is kind of decision when to release the ball was a little delayed as to what he usually does. I think his angle to receive the pass wasn't perfect. So he's obviously not been in training a long time, full team training. I think that's clear to say. I mean, tactically, he didn't look as assured on the pitch as he usually does. But again, that comes with rust, and that comes down to the fact that, you know, he has to play 90 now because of Ampadu. We literally have zero senior centre back on the bench. I'm not going to get into that because I've already spoken about that in depth. But yeah, he didn't look sharp enough, you know, but that will come. This game will massively help that, obviously. And let's just hope he can stay fit now because he's a key player for us with Pascal. And again, on set pieces, been a presence, just been in there. I love our set pieces now, by the way. I love him. I think, do you know what it is? And we did this at uni. There comes a time where you look at who you've got, and you can talk about set piece coaches and all that. Of course you can, but at the end of the day, we're not big. We're not great in the air, apart from one or two players. We're just not. That's the facts of it. We're just not. So what do? You just cause chaos. Just crowd an area and put it in there. Flick it on, get it near the goal, who knows? And just have players ready to attack any second balls. And that's what we did. That's what we've been doing the last few weeks. Players around the edge of the box, players close to the penalty area, just there, win the first contact, can go wherever it wants, be on the second ball, and that's kind of what we're doing. You know, and having a guy like Pascal in there, he might not always score from headers, which he did obviously recently, but you know, he's a presence. He'll win the first contact, which means the ball could probably go anywhere. So you've got to be ready for that. And hence the Tanaka goal. I think it was Firpo got the header, but he was there. Is my point. But yeah, 6.5. I thought it was all right. Not the best performance from him, but again, he's just come back from injury. It's his first 90 minutes in a highly contested game, a big physical game. So yeah, and he had a lot of running, a lot of sprinting to do in that first half, particularly. And that's the difference for me. Fitness is not just about running; it's about the sprints. Sprints are the ones that get you. They're the tough ones. It's the sprint inside of it. On the contrast to that, Joe Rodon, for me, by far our best player. By far. But some other players played really well, but Joe Rodon is an absolute gem. He's an excellent centre-back. Excellent centre-back. And he's quietly been probably our best player. I think he had a dodgy first few weeks. Maybe going up to a month. After that, honestly, I think he's been outstanding. I do. He reads the game so well. Do you know what's underrated about Joe Rodon is how quick he is? People say he's quick for a centre-back. I just think he's quick. Genuinely, I just think he's a quick player. Isn't he? You know what I mean? Like, he pops up in so many moments where we needed him. The one near the end, I think it was Hamer. I can't remember, when the ball's in behind and he's about to be one-on-one and he just comes across the ball, boom, sees it out. Got fouled about 4 or 5 times, which the ref doesn't give. And he gets fouled because he just makes that late contact just before the play, and then the play kicks through. His pace is so underrated. He's a very quick player, Joe Rodon. And he reads the game excellently well. He battles, he fights. Look, he'll make mistakes. Yeah, of course he will. But I just think he's so important to this team. And like I said, with 0 senior centre-backs on the bench, I'm not talking about children, I'm talking about senior centre-backs that will play minutes in this team. We need these two to stay fit. He's so important. Yeah, Joe Rodon was probably my man of the match. I thought he was outstanding. Again, showing real good leadership in that game, real fight as well, even in the last minutes. That crucial that tackle near the end is crucial, by the way. So shout out to Rodon again. Fullbacks. Yeah, I mean, look, talking about that word, I don't like to. That word aura, and Junior Firpo's getting a 10, and Bogo's probably getting a 9.5. But again, highly competitive game, good players. I think it was a good battle from each fullback with Burton Diaz and Rakisaki. I think it was mixed in the results, but in the end, you know, our guys did the thing. It's always going to be hard for Bogo, was this one, wasn't it? Because of the constant booing, and I think it did affect him. And you know what? I think it affected everyone. And I think we lacked or missed a little bit of leadership. And we'll talk about that in a minute when we get onto midfield. I'm not going to speak too much about the fullbacks. Bogle didn't have an amazing game for his standards, but he was fine. He still did his thing, still went forward, still attacked, and he was decent defensively as well. You know, I'd say for Junior Firpo, to be honest, I think Rakisaki beat him once, maybe, in a 1v1 duel, potentially. I don't know. But he made some good blocks to Junior Firpo, some good lasting. There's one on in the first half where they get a ball into the box, and he just makes it. And there's one near earlier on in that, actually, where he blocks across. So, yeah, he made some good last-ditch tackles at Junior Firpo that probably went unnoticed. And, of course, the header as well. You know what I mean? What a header. And that's what I absolutely love about him. Just that little freedom element of football. Why is the left back there? I don't know. I don't care, but I love it. And he's probably won you the game. Do you know what I mean? So, who cares? You know, this is what I mean. Where people say Daniel Farke's risk averse, I think in certain situations he can be, but also in certain situations, and most situations, I'd argue he isn't. Look how many we attack with, even at 2-1 up. In the last few minutes. He wants this team to score. He wants this team to be relentless. He's took the shackles off. He has. He wants this team to score as many as possible. He wants to win by as many goals as possible. And Junior Firpo popping up in the box is proof of that. In the middle of the box as well. Not even at the back stick or anything. Outstanding. What a player. What a player. Now, the important bit. And I want to talk about the team now. And I want to have a little bit of a discussion. Before I talk about these two, I want to talk about the loss of our captain, which I think is massive. Again, people saying it isn't. If the first kind of 30 minutes of that game were anything to show, it shows he is a huge loss in that team. And this is what I think is misconstrued with when you say captain. It's not someone that's going to motivate players. It's not necessarily the point. It's the standard the team have set, and it's the standard the club have set. And these group of players themselves have set. It's a standard. And the captain is there to enforce the standard. Whether he's having a good game or a bad game, that's not the point. He enforces the standard of the players. That's the main role of the captain. It's the small details. It's the communication with the manager. The captain has to know more about the style of play than anyone else because he has to enforce it, right? He's the on-pitch coach. That's what he is, as well as a player. And that is the leadership. It's the understanding of what they need to do. And we massively lacked that in the first kind of 20, 30 minutes. We did. We massively lacked that. We looked a little sheepish. We looked lost. Shape wasn't good. We didn't really understand it. I think early on, I believe we changed. Pressing, we were just bypassing it. There was not enough aggression in midfield. There wasn't even enough kind of S-housery, to be honest. There wasn't. Not for my liking in a game like this. Like I said, we played into their way. Played into what they wanted. That midfield duels, we kind of lost the early ones. Vinicius was, getting fouled, then laughing at our players, taking our players out, then laughing at them. There was no bite back. And this is not a reaction. This is a bite back. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your teammates. There's a moment where, a few moments where Dan James gets took out for the penalty, for example, and there's three of their players shouting in his face over him. None of ours go over. I don't like that, personally. I don't. That's just me. I understand, look, you're in the game, you want to focus. Yeah, we don't care about that. But you back your teammate. It shouldn't affect anything. Because best believe Ampadu would have been there, 100%. And we missed that standard setting in the first 30 minutes anyway, before I went off on a tangent. We did miss that massively. And we missed his aggression in there. I think this game was a very physical game. That's why we struggled originally. And the point is, when they're at home and you allow them to get on the front foot, which we did because we didn't start well enough. I think the first few minutes, 10 minutes, we started well. But I mean off the ball. I'm not talking about on the ball here. We always carried a threat. I'm talking about off the ball. Like our shape, our aggression. It wasn't there for a lot of the game. It wasn't. I think Ampadu sets that tone. For example, Tanaka and Gruev they can put in a tackle. They can work hard. They can read the game well, but Ampadu's an athlete. He covers the ground quick. He's aggressive. He can move with the ball. You know what I mean? He's got agility. I think that's the difference between him and Gruev. Ampadu loves a game that's high tempo. Gruev is a slow tempo player. Very good slow tempo player. But in high, aggressive, physical games like this, with high tempo, he does struggle. So for me, for all those reasons, struggled, and we will miss Ampadu massively. All the opinions of the season, I cannot fathom the idea that Ampadu will be missed or shouldn't start. I genuinely do not understand it in the slightest. He's the best six in the league, and he is massive in this team. So it's going to be a tough. I'm glad that game's out of the way, by the way, because now you're playing the opposition that are probably not going to be as good as Sheffield United, so you're fine. But here's a huge miss. But the midfield was, like I said, it was a tough one. I think they definitely lost out. I thought Tanaka had a better game than Gruev, especially in the second half. Some of Tanaka's passing range in that game was outstanding. He's so pressure resistant. He did give the ball away a few times and get caught on it. But again, this was down to the aggressive nature of the game. It was very aggressive. They were pressing high. We couldn't deal with it. We give it to Tanaka in them deep pockets, but they were just close and they were aggressive. Sometimes they fouled him, sometimes they won the ball. But second half, Tanaka was key in everything we did. It was so busy, so important. And Gruev just couldn't get into it. Too high a tempo game for Gruev, I think. For me, Gruev is a possession-based player. He just simply isn't a physical presence. And that physical presence, again, just to clarify, isn't a guy who can put in a tackle. That's not a physical presence. It's the physical attributes they have. Are they tall? Are they big? Are they quick? Do they have agility? Do they have power? He's a technical player, a very good technical player. Tanaka has that a bit, but if you're looking, for example, if you're looking for a profile, right, you're in a scouting team, and you've been saying, right, we want a physical profile, a physical six, an athlete, powerful physical athlete. You're not going to pick any of these two, are you? You know what I mean? So that's what we lacked, and they have that in Peck and Vinny Souza, who dominated the first half. So we changed the midfield, we changed our shape, and when we played our game and dominated the ball and dominated possession, that's when that physicality became a bit void, because we move it so well, and we have that pace. So, yeah, just a little thing there. Not their game. Well, I thought Tanaka was better, actually, than Gruev. Gruev just couldn't get into it. Tanaka had big moments in the second half, including the goal. His passing was brilliant in the second as well. Go watch it back. I'm watching the highlights, and 2 or 3 passes were outstanding. But yeah, just to talk on the game there. And the wingers, I've actually seen that people believed in their opinion that they weren't great. I do disagree. I actually thought I think he gave Harry Clark a terrible time. I think he got past him 4 or 5 times in that first half. And he went off, obviously, for whatever reason. He's done that to a few fullbacks. I think 3 or 4 this season have gone off at half time when Solomon's been up against him. His ball control is so close that he can just skip past you in half a second. You can't react to it. You know where he's going to go. Can't deal with it. That's why you have to double up on him. You know he's going inside, but he's already gone by the time you're prepared to defend. And good players do that. Good wingers do that. That's what they do. I think he was just... And he beat his man many, many times. Did Solomon. Many times. It was just that final shot again. He had one in the first. He put his man on it. Oh, he did him on the inside. Great bit of skill. But the shot was just straight at the keeper. And we did that 4 or 5 times in this game. Dan James, I think Wilder mentioned in his press that we kept him quiet for 60 minutes. Which, somewhat quiet, yeah. He probably should have scored though. He had a chance on near the back post. But you can keep James quiet for 60 minutes. But if he's playing 90 minutes, 30 minutes, a dangerous Dan James, you're finished, basically. So, yeah, they did do well. But that didn't last. And that's why he came into it and put a brilliant cross in. And he threatened that whole game, to be honest, in Dan James. I thought got some good balls in the box. But the problem is when we're playing with Joe Pro at top, can't necessarily put a ball in an area where he isn't, because he's not got that quick burst of pace. Joe Pro is, where he's going to be. Most likely going to be around the edge of the box in a late run. You've got to give it to his feet. Unless it's a cutback that's a really close one and he's unmarked. He's not a guy that's going to do explosive movement in the box and find a space. He isn't. You've got to find him. You've got to work to his strengths. It's as simple as that. And I don't think we did that. I think we tried to find areas, but he's just not going to be there. You've got to look where he is and give it to him there. That's usually how he works. That's what he's good at. Yeah, they were all right. They grew into the game. And they were really effective. And I actually thought on this as well, I thought Nonto as well. When Nonto came on, I thought he was excellent. Sorry, I've got a cold and it's just like bunging up. Apologies. Yeah, Nonto was much better impact. That's what I expect. When he came on, he was positive. He drove at them. He created space. He held width. He found decent pockets. He almost scored an unbelievable goal. Great save. But yeah, the wingers, all in all, I was very impressed with this game. I thought they were all good. They did have times where they were quiet, where they didn't quite get into it. But in the end, the last 20, 30 minutes, they showed why they are outstanding. And that's what the best teams do. And that is a key part of this game. The resilience we showed throughout, I was so frustrated in the first half when we just didn't have that mentality like they did. You know, we didn't look like we could win the game in the first half. It looked like they could score more goals. They probably should have. We showed real resilience to come back from that again for the second time in a week since last Monday. So I love that in a team. I do. I really do. But I don't want to see that every week. You know, I want to see us taking that first goal now, taking that lead. And look, that can create champions. It can. You're proving to yourself that even against some of the best opposition in the league, you show resilience. I love that from every one of them. Great mentality in the end. It took a while to get to that point of mentality. It did. It took us a lot of minutes. But once we got our foot on the ball and we played our game, we moved the ball quick, we finally nullified their physicality and then dominated. And then we saw the goals from that again. Set pieces. How many times I've been saying this season, set pieces are so vital in this league. If it weren't for set pieces, we arguably would have come off this game and last game with a point. They are huge. They are massive. And this is proof of that. And last week is proof of that. Set pieces should not be neglected. They are very important. Crossing, all that stuff. It's very important in this game. So important. It's not just about beautiful football. It's about the little details. Massive. And finally, the last two. Aronson, again, it's that physicality thing. And it's not just him. And again, I talk about physicality. Strong, big, quick, physical players we need in that game. And we don't have that option, do we? So, like I said, I wanted to bring one in. We didn't bring one in, but it's what it is. That would have been the change for me. And he just struggled. I think Vinicius is a really good player, and he just struggled in this one. He still ran around. He still did some decent little bits in there, but just like the other two, it's a hard game for him to get into, really. But Joe Pirro, what a strike, by the way, just before what a strike. Unbelievable strike. Unbelievable. And he actually looked better when he dropped a little deeper. I feel like he had a bit more space when he dropped a little deeper. There weren't really a marker on him. They were tired. They tired out as the game went on. Kind of just floated between the centre backs just a little deeper. They couldn't really mark him. He played really well in that second half. His link-up play was good as well. Probably should have released the ball. I give him a 7 because I just think for the last 20 minutes, he threatened a lot. He had a few shots. He got in good spaces. He was always an option. First half, he didn't get the ball, but again, I don't think we did anything to allow that. I don't think we could find a space for him. I don't think that's his fault. And he came on, scored an unbelievable finish, which gets you 3-1 up, and threatened. So, good. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, honestly, this is huge. This could be defining. It could. But now it's gone. Honestly, people, I went insane in this room. I went, oh my God. I don't know what noises came out of me, but some did, and they weren't very normal. But I love this sport, man. Just for moments like that, it means so much to all of us, and I absolutely love it when you see the players, and it means so much to them. Helps a lot, you know. I love it, absolutely love it. 12 more to go now. Each one of these games is as important as that one. We've got to go in with that a winning mentality, a relentless mentality. Without the captain, we've got to do this. You know, it's going to be tough, but we can do it. Of course we can. We're at the top of the league. We look really good. True resilience. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Imagine everyone's very happy. I'm so delighted. Can't describe it, man. What a day. What a day. Farker making subs early as well. Hey, see, when he's up in that analysis booth at the top, you see the game a little differently. I'll make some early subs for the first time ever. But yeah, shout out the analysts. Yeah, see you guys in a bit.